Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever this may find you at. Welcome to the Front Porch. The Front Porch is brought to you by the North Flint Neighborhood Action Council, Community Foundation of Greater Flint, and Census 2020. Complete your census. Your community needs it. I am so grateful and thankful right now to have three illustrious co-hosts with me on this evening. And so we're going to start it off by allowing them to introduce themselves. And I'm going to start with the closer.
All right. Hey, welcome everybody. I'm just out here on the front porch. My mom kicked me out the house this morning. And so I'm just sitting on the porch, keeping up a little mischief, but we're going to have a little discussion today. So welcome.
Yeah, this Todd Womack just hanging out on Willie's porch. I'm not trying to cut no grass today, so I said, let me run over Willie's house real quick. That way my mama can't make me cut the grass. I'm just happy to hang out over here. Hopefully we can share some information with y'all. That's going to be a blessing.
Yeah, brothers, let me just say, man, I am delighted to be in your presence, man. I'm Sylvester Jones, come to you from B. Damon Street, representing Dewey Elementary School. It's been a rough day, man. I got chores to do. I mean, I had to clean out the garage, man. So if I appear to be a little frazzled, it's because, I still haven't settled myself yet. But thank you, and I'm looking forward to this opportunity.
Hey, and I'm Patrick McNeil, and I'm happy that, Linden Street is allowing a person from Pulaski Street to come hang out and sit on that Beware stone. So I'm just happy right now, and I'm looking forward to going ahead, having this conversation on this porch, and hurrying up and getting off of it before Mother Smith come and tell us it's time for us to go. So Willie, go ahead and kick us off with our community proverb. For those of you that's your first time listening, a community proverb is the mother and daughter of knowledge. We got these from our parents, our grandparents, and from those who just live near us. And we use them to center our conversation. And today, Willie gonna tell us the word we got for us today.
All right. Well, this one comes from one of my older cousins. Well, actually, it comes from several people because I've heard it at different parts of my life as I went along. So here it goes. Tell me who you love, and I'll tell you who you are. And yes, one of my older cousins comes to mind because I believe he was the last one who told me this, and he actually sat down and talked to me about it. And it all stemmed around like who I was hanging around, because we don't always pick the right or the best person to hang around as we're growing up. You want to be popular or whatever, and you hang out, and you might be with some people doing some not so good things. So he told me that I can tell what kind of character you have by the people you are hanging around, and that just stuck with me, because I wasn't really thinking about character at that point in my life, but it started a conversation in my head so that I would always be conscious of that fact. And though I may not have been doing all the things that the crowd I was hanging around was, you don't necessarily have to, because like they say, association puts you in the light of what they're doing. So how you feel about it?
Todd then leaned over a little bit too far. Willie, for me, as you begin to talk about this whole idea, the word phrase is rather different. because we don't always associate love with time when we're young. When we're young and we don't understand everything and we don't know what's taking place, we really don't allow those things to match or to mesh. And what ends up happening is that when we don't pay attention to it. Yet these people are the ones we do fall in love with because these are the ones that we'll fight with. These are the ones that we'll do all kind of mischief with. These are the ones that will continue to progress into more and more things that may not be good for our wealth or our mental health. But yet, because we say we down with them my partners, my bros, I love them, and that's who I'm spending all my time with. Sooner or later, a choice has to be made by me. And the choice that I needed to make was I going to continue down the road in which I was going, or would I make a detour and change somewhere else? And but as a young person, you really don't think that way. I never thought of spending time with my friends is actually spending time with who I love. But in reality, whether I knew it or not, that statement is true as all get out.
Yeah.
What you think about that, Todd?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about this saying, when you hang out with the crowd, you only go as far as the crowd, right? And so I'm just blessed to hear what, Willie's family had to share with him, and thinking about back then what, my family would have wanted from me, when they saw people, man, who may be heading the wrong way, they want to drop them seeds like you want to be wise in regards to who you surround yourself with and who you hang out with, right? And I just think, we got that saying in the street, bullets don't have eyes, right? Y'all heard that before, right?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, somebody coming to shoot somebody that's with you that's up to no good, then bullet's not going to discern you and just bypass you, And so I think one of the things in that adage, like the love part is like, be careful in regards to how you define love and who you, show that love to, because you got to be careful out here. Once again, at the end of the day, our family wanted us to make it home safe.
Yeah, yeah. As I think about this, let me just say, I think it's a rich proverb, and as Patrick stated, we typically don't associate our spending time with friends as something that's consistent with love. And so as I hear this, I'm wondering, man, when was it okay to say I love somebody, right? Especially when it comes to one of my partners, or even a girl for that matter, right? When is it okay to say you love somebody? When I think about things that I spent time with, I spent time, playing sports, and I spent time, with my parents, and I spent time with my friends. But in hindsight, I never associated me spending time with them as me loving them. And so it's forcing me to kind of think about, that an experience from my childhood, even right now. I spent time with potted meat and bologna and ramen noodles and Vienna sausage and as much candy as I could eat. That's what I spent time with. If you told me what I love, that's what I would have told you that I love. I love to eat candy, and I love to get up and down the street, play basketball, and do those kind of things. But it really is a lot to be said for the people that you spend your time with, how that determines really your trajectory. And so in hindsight, we reflected on just, where we are today versus the people that we spent time with growing up.
Come on, Willie.
Well, yeah, all of that is true, and I tell you, I never really told any of my buddies that I love them, and then one of them got killed. He got shot at one of the party stores around here, and I had to go to his funeral, man. I was pallbearer. And to this day, I regret not sharing more feelings about that because he was really like a brother to me. And I had that kind of love for him. But that just goes to show how people don't necessarily have to be family to touch your lives and have real impact on it. The other thing that gets me about this one is that it's all about choices. Who you love is a choice. How you love is a choice. And who you are and who you become is generally made up of the choices as a collaboration of who you then become. It is very deep, and it's just a two-part sentence. You know, oh man, I'm stuck. Rescue me, Todd.
Man, I just think, you're talking about where your heart is, right? And where your heart is, that's what you're going to invest in, right? And I think our family was like, be wise in what you invest in. You hanging out with people that don't mean you no good, that mean you harm. You ain't gonna get no return on your investment. That's what it comes down to. Matter of fact, you're gonna be bankrupt, and then you're gonna have this warped concept of what love is, right? Because we don't know what love is when we was growing up, man. And we